I am from Bihar, right? And I have studied from Hindi medium Bihar board. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So people think कि English बोलने के लिए for you to be able to speak in English with confidence and fluency, you
Mm-hmm.
have to have from the English medium background. Look at me. I'm not. I'm from
Okay.
Bihar board Hindi medium, right? When I started off, I just had a dream. I started with a dream. The dream
Mm-hmm.
that I will be able to speak with in front of thousands of people, dream that I will be able to influence people through my skills. I get abused on my Instagram and YouTube. People say अंग्रेज की औलाद पता नहीं कहाँ से अंग्रेजी बोल रहे हैं मतलब or all these bad
Mm-hmm.
abuses that I'm getting. And guess what? I
Mm-hmm.
do not care about them because I know that if I am able to influence even one person from any village or any city or any country for that matter, and because of me, if that
Mm-hmm.
one person is inspired, influenced, and they are trying themselves to make their life better by learning the English language, my purpose is fulfilled.
Hi, Sachin.
Perfect.
Good evening. How
Hi,
are you
hi, good
doing?
evening. I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing well, and thank you so much for taking out time to have this conversation.
Sure, you're welcome.
First of all, welcome to Fluenzio. And finally, we are having this conversation after a long
Finally,
wait.
yes. We have been
Right?
trying for, I don't know, for the last 4 5 months, and finally we are here. So thank you for having me. Yes, it feels
My
good.
pleasure. See,
Hmm.
my goal from this conversation is very simple. I want my viewers to know this journey of a boy from a small village in Bihar to this TED Talk speaker, Josh Talk speaker, English coach, and now traveling outside India and doing many more things. By the way, it's very inspirational. And I want people who are in this journey, whether they are learning English or in general also, they can
Hmm.
feel a little hopeful. They can feel, they can get this hope. Like I can also speak English fluently and I can do a lot of things when I know English, and they leave this conversation feeling slightly more confident. So
Sure,
this,
absolutely.
yeah, how was this journey? We will start from your introduction. If you can tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I will ask a lot of things.
Let's do it. Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, you can start. You can tell us something interesting about you, and who is this person, and what people can learn from this person today.
Sure. First of all, thank you, Vinita, for having me on this interview. And as we mentioned, we've been trying for a while, so finally it feels good to be here. Well, for those people who don't know me, I'm Sachin Thakur, and I am a storytelling and communication coach. I used to teach English, I still do, but now I'm
Mm-hmm,
more into storytelling, communication, public
mm-hmm,
speaking, personality development. And now I work with business owners, coaches,
mm-hmm,
entrepreneurs, founders, CEOs, and I help them craft and tell their story, either about themselves, about
mm-hmm,
their brand, about their clients, or anything. It could be personal as well as professional. And I have about 30,000 followers on Instagram,
mm-hmm,
and it's English with Sachin on Instagram.
mm-hmm,
And I have been posting a lot of content from the last almost 5 years now, right? So yeah, it's been great journey. So I'm
mm-hmm.
grateful for where I am. Yeah.
Okay, you are doing a lot of things.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, simple. That's great. Yeah, I think very
Hmm.
much. I'm very much. Yeah, now I'm feeling. What should I ask you? You told me a lot of things now. What should I
Sure, go
cover
ahead.
first? What do you think? Which part of your journey is very much inspirational that you feel can give our English learner the hope, the confidence? Like
Sure.
first, I have this big question for you. In one of your conversation, you told that English gave you a lot of hard time, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
still you chose the same thing, and now you are doing
yeah.
a lot, right? Why? What you were challenging English? Like first I will learn and then I
Well,
will teach. What was this?
so for the viewers, I am from Bihar, right? And I have studied from Hindi medium Bihar board. Okay.
Mm-hmm,
So people think कि English बोलने के लिए for you to be able to speak in English with confidence and fluency, you
mm-hmm,
have to have from the English medium background. Look at me. I'm not. I'm from
okay.
Bihar board Hindi medium, right? So yes, English did challenge me when I started 8 years ago. I
Mhm,
went for multiple job interviews and couldn't crack even single one of them because I couldn't speak in English. I didn't have that
mhm,
confidence and that personality that could help me, get the job. So I did not challenge English. I challenged my circumstances. I challenged my dream, right? Because
mhm,
I had a dream, the dream that one day I will be able to speak English with confidence. Dream that one day I will be go to, I'll be able to go to America. Dream that one day, and most importantly, I
mhm,
will be able to build home for my mom, right? So having all these dreams with me, I couldn't have given up. I didn't have a choice. And when you don't have a choice,
mhm.
you do nothing but to work on your skills, work on your personality, and things start happening. So in my case, I had no choice. I had no option. So I had to challenge not English, but my circumstances and my dreams that no matter what, I have to keep working on it. And when I improved, I did not keep it to myself only. I started teaching. And, as they say, that teaching is the best profession. If you want to learn something, start teaching. So I wanted to master this language called English. So somebody told me that if
Okay.
you want to master it, you have to start teaching it. So
Mhm,
whatever I was learning, whether it's grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, conversation, anything, whatever I was learning, I was teaching. So the more I taught, the better I became. And when I would go to these NGOs and teach in English, I had this
mhm.
pressure that I wanted to teach in a perfect manner, right? So that pressure
Okay.
made me. People say,
Mhm,
pressure is bad. No, pressure is the most important thing that you can
mhm.
ever have in life. Because when you're pressurized, it helps you grow. It keeps you on your toes that you have no other option but to put your head down, work, improve your skill sets, and grow.
Okay, this all started from your personal experience. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we start learning English, especially people who have hard time, only if there is a
Mm.
lot of pressure. And some people
Mhm.
thrive under pressure, and you are the perfect example.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
Okay.
it.
So you started teaching along with your learning. That's interesting.
Mm. Yeah,
Okay.
that is
And then
interesting.
yeah. And how did this journey take turn towards this Joe's talk, TED talk? Were you trying to influence other people? Like you should also start, you should, or you wanted to explore new part of your life. How did this
Well,
happen?
when I started,
Mm-hmm.
hmm, when I learned, I told myself that when I come out of the misery of not being confident in English, and when I
Mm-hmm.
become the confident version of me, and when I learn enough,
Mm-hmm.
then I will not keep it to myself, right?
Okay.
If I go out there and start teaching people, start helping people, I will be more, happy, right? So my purpose has always been helping people in terms of confidence and skill building, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought if I have to influence people at a certain level,
Mm-hmm.
I just cannot keep it to myself. I have to start sharing to the world. And having that purpose in my mind, I
Mm-hmm.
started my YouTube channel. I started my Instagram page called English with Sachin and YouTube channel, same English with Sachin. And I
Mm-hmm.
started posting content. And I saw that people started loving it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I had this neutral accent. I had this, the way I would speak, the way I would enunciate, the way I would use pronunciation. So people found it really fascinating, right? And then they started, reaching me out, "Ki, hey, I want to learn from you." And that's where the thing started. And then in 2023, the Josh Talks happened, right? it,
Okay.
it was my
Hmm.
dream. It was my dream to be on the platform, right? Because that's a platform where there are so many great personalities,
Mm-hmm.
great speakers have spoken. So I was like, you know what? I also want to be there, right? So I had this dream. And then I applied for it, got rejected quite a few times. But, as I told you, I have absolutely no option than winning. I don't complain. I don't compare. I don't crib. I
Mm-hmm.
win. Winning is a
Okay.
full-time job. I don't quit, right? So I was like, if they have rejected me, I don't care. I applied again, and
Mm-hmm.
I kept doing it until I got a call from them saying, "Hey, we would love to have you in the Joe Stocks," right? So
Mm-hmm.
anything that people are working on themselves right now, and
Mm-hmm.
especially in the English language we're discussing right now, in your way, when people are learning, they will have a lot of people making fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
बड़ा अंग्रेज बन रहा है, पता नहीं क्या सीख रहा है, whatever, right? And there are some people,
Exactly.
I'm telling you, there are some people, I get abused on my Instagram and YouTube. People say अंग्रेज की औलाद, पता नहीं कहाँ से अंग्रेजी बोल रहे हैं, मतलब or all these bad
Mhm.
abuses that I'm getting. And guess what? I
Mhm.
do not care about them because I know that if I am able to influence even one person from any village or any city or any country for that matter, and because of me, if that
Mhm.
one person is inspired, influenced, and they are trying themselves to make their life better by learning the English language, my purpose is fulfilled, right? So even if I get all these hate comments sometimes, let me tell you, I get
Mhm.
more love comments than hate comments. So I do not focus on hate comments, right? I focus on the
Mhm.
love that I get from the audience and from my students, and
Mhm.
that inspires me a lot, right? And then 2000 25 only, this year only, I got into
Mhm.
TED Talk. My TED Talk was a huge thing for me, right? It was
Yeah, it
my
is.
one of my ultimate dreams of becoming going on
Mhm.
that TED Talk platform. And when it happened, people started noticing. And eventually what happens that when a TED Talk comes these days, they do not get a lot of views. In my case, my TED Talk has already gotten more than 23,000 views on YouTube, right?
That's great. Yeah.
So yeah, that is great, right? So the name of the TED Talk is Seven Steps to Become Fluent or Confident, something like that, by Sachin
Mhm.
Thakur. And people have
Mhm.
watched it, they have loved it. So yeah, I mean, when I started off, I just had a dream. I started with a dream. The dream
Mhm.
that I will be able to speak with in front of thousands of people, dream that I will be able to influence people through my skills. And
Mhm.
by the God's grace, touch wood, it is all happening. So I'm genuinely grateful.
Okay, that's very impressive. And I resonate with a lot of this. Started with
Mm.
learning, then helping people, and that's what we are doing, reaching out to
Yeah,
people
right.
like you who have had this fair share of struggles, learning this language, or in general in their life, where they reach to this level where like they are in the victim mentality and then
Yeah,
getting into winning mentality. I want to
yeah.
talk more about this. You mentioned you wanted to overcome this challenge, victim mentality,
Mm.
you wanted to win. I know many people, I was once there. Mm, Many learners,
Mm.
they have this thing. I come from a Hindi medium school, mm, Hindi medium school,
Mm.
low English environment, or lack of resources, many challenges. And they keep thinking about it, and it hampers their journey. It hampers their
Mm.
fluency, their progress.
Right, right, right.
And
Right.
whenever they try, they leave their
Mm.
comfort zone. Whenever they try, another challenge comes in. Shame.
Mm.
What if
Yeah.
I speak wrong? Right?
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah.
Big one. And as
Yeah.
you are experienced, you have faced all the challenges. Now you have overcome. And
Right.
of course, now we both can say we should focus more on love comments than hate comments. But still, people who are starting, how to deal
Mm.
with this, because shame is a big thing and it
Yeah.
keeps you in this comfort zone. How did you overcome? Like, what is this mindset shift that we need to take care of? Because it's very important.
That's a brilliant question,
Hmm.
Vinita. Why? Because when people start learning the English language, no,
Hmm.
in the very beginning, they start focusing upon, oh, I have to learn grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, all these technical things, right? They do not work on the mindset part. And I love this question because every time I'm asked about the mindset, I love it because I'm able to reach at this level where I am right now, not only because I was able to improve my communication skills,
Hmm.
because of my mindset. As they say, that success is 80% of your psychology and the mindset, and only 20% skill set,
Hmm.
right? So coming back to your question, yes, when I started my journey, there were people who were making fun of my accent because I'm from Bihar, right? So I had this MTI, mother tongue influence. तो मैं श को स बोलता था, र को ड़ बोलता था, फ को फ बोलता था. So I had these problems, right? I was
Hmm.
not able to say raid. So small story. I when I went to Delhi 8 years ago, I went to an uncle's store and said, "Uncle, मुझे वो red pen चाहिए." He was like, "क्या चाहिए?" I said, "Red pen." And he was like, "अच्छा, red pen." Right? So having that MTI, mother tongue influence, really embarrassed me a lot of the time. What really helped me, Vinita, is I told myself that if I keep listening to these people who make
Hmm.
fun of me, who make me feel embarrassed, I will stay stuck in my life for the rest of my life and I will not
Okay.
be able to tell my story. One of the mental frameworks that I have and I have been following since 2017, Vinita, is
Hmm.
Anything and everything that I do should turn into a story that I will tell to the world, you know?
Interesting. Okay.
Because if
It is
I had
interesting.
given up, right, if I had given up after all those shame and embarrassing moments and people making fun of me, I wouldn't have been here, right? So every time people get into the mindset, oh, what they will think of me, oh, I do not sound confident, oh, what if I make mistakes, you will stay there. Trust me, I have made thousands of mistakes, always,
Mhm.
all the time. And there are
Mhm.
some embarrassing mistakes which I'm not proud of. But guess what? I don't regret them. Not at all, but I've learned from them, right? So the mindset framework has always been okay, let them make fun of you. It's all right.
Mhm.
Today, they will make fun of me, but tomorrow, if you don't give up, they will tell the world how they know about you. And that's exactly
Okay.
what is happening in my life right now,
Mhm.
right? So when there were some people who were making fun of me, they were not supporting my journey 7, 8 years ago. Now they tell other people, oh, I know Sachin from 7 saal se 8 saal. So he was working in this NGO. He was working as a caretaker. He was really good. But that time, I did not get any support. So I kept telling myself that I have to come out of it. I have to tell the world my story.
Mhm.
8 years ago, I had nothing but hope that one day I will make it. And that mindset kept me going.
Okay. People who are
Yeah,
watching, they should. This is very inspirational. You have done a lot of things. Wow. I will tell you something. One time, I
sure.
think some months ago, I watched one of your ads. I checked your
Okay.
Instagram page. I was like, this guy is doing really well because it takes a lot of effort, to be honest.
Yes.
When
Oh,
you
it does.
have learned, it does. When you have learned,
Mhm.
now you are out to teach. A lot of
Yeah.
questions come in our mind. What if?
Yeah.
A lot of what ifs.
What if?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
What
it's
if?
great. I think, but we always have someone to look forward to. You are one of
Yeah.
them for many people, mm,
Yeah.
and we all are trying to do that. And the reason
Absolutely.
why I have these kind of conversation is simple. We can be a
Yeah.
little hopeful because
Yeah.
eventually hope is a big thing.
I love
Yeah.
it when you said it.
Yeah.
Hope is everything. Because sometimes when people don't have anything, all they have is
Yes, hope.
hope. Because
Yeah.
when I shifted to Delhi 8 years ago, Vinita, I lived in slum for 2 years in a small bedroom, four
Hmm.
people, and doing the job that I hated. And everybody in my that NGO that I was working at hated me because I wasn't skilled. I wasn't confident. And my job was to, they would tell me, oh, go get the chai, go get the coffee, go receive the guest. And that's all I would do. Once in a while, I would just get some enrollments from the students. They told the world, oh, Sachin is an executive. Sachin is our, admission executive. But in the back end, I was just, sorry to say the word, but I was just a chaprasi. I was just a guy who would just bring all these chai, coffee, biscuit for them, right? So hope, I had hope. There were so many times when I wanted to quit that job, but I didn't. You know why? Because that job was paying me 6,000 rupees a month,
8 years ago.
8 years ago, right? And that
Okay.
6,000 rupees a month gave
Mm-hmm.
me food and shelter
Mm-hmm.
and courage to keep pursuing my dreams. You mentioned, no, that what if? I always exchange my what ifs with so what. What if I'm not confident right now? So what? You will be. What if people
Okay.
make fun of me? So
Mm-hmm.
what? Let them. One day they'll talk about you. Or what if I don't have that body or that sound? So
Mm-hmm.
what? You will have one day, right? Because I was horrible. I would
Mm-hmm.
make hell lot of mistakes in my communication. I didn't have, I'm telling you, I didn't have a basic civic sense at certain point. And now I teach people how to have civic sense. I teach people how to have personality. It's hypocrisy, but I love this hypocrisy, right? So I always try to shift from what if to so what,
Mm-hmm.
and that will push you so much to go on this journey of improving your skill set.
Okay, interesting. Have you read this book, Mindset?
I no, I haven't. No, I haven't.
You haven't read it, but you are giving the summary of Mindset book. I have read it. Recently I finished it. So this book is telling the same thing. If
Amazing.
yet, what if and yet. For example, if someone
Yeah,
thinks
yeah.
I'm not
I
confident,
love that. I
yeah,
love the way you say yet. I have not done it yet.
correct.
So
So
I'm
this is
not
what this book
confident yet.
says.
I love it. I would love to read it. Yeah, I would love to read it. Yeah.
Okay. Are you into books?
I love books. I love books. We are building this office right now. But if I
Mhm.
give you can give you a bit of glimpse right now, let me just show you a little bit.
Okay, interesting.
See,
So you are building that
right?
stick. You are building
Right. So I have a
book
lot of
stand.
books. I've read a lot of books, right? And for the viewers who are watching right now, I'll tell them that if you want to improve your communication skills, your English language skills, reading books is non-negotiable, right?
Okay.
When
Mm-hmm.
I started my journey, Vinita, I had a mentor, Neha Bhabi. She used to sit with me and she would tell me, read like this, read slow, take pauses, read with passion, with
Mm-hmm.
energy, right? Pronounce it properly. So she would sit with me and she would guide me step by step how to read the book. And I will always be forever, always be grateful to her. I always, every single time I talk to her, I thank her. And she's getting tired of me thanking her all the time, but I love her. She's my mentor. So reading, the
Mm-hmm.
habit that she has taught me has given me
Mm-hmm.
everything, I would say, right? So the reading taught me how to speak properly because when you read, and this
Mm-hmm.
is very important, when you read, do not just read, read as if you are speaking in front of people. It's very important. I repeat, read
Okay.
as if you are speaking and presenting in front of people. Just to give an
Mm-hmm.
example right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the book called The Diary of a CEO, right? So let me tell
Okay.
you, this is how most people would probably read, right? Like this. Just a moment. All right. So this is how most people will read. This one realization changed the trajectory of my life, and for the past 3 years, I have made radical dietary changes, cutting down sugar, processed food, and refined grains. This is how most people read, right?
Okay.
Now, this is not how you should read. This is how you should read. As I told you, read as if people are in front of you. Read as if, imagine you are presenting and speaking in front of people. In that
Mm-hmm.
case, you will be super confident. You will be using expression, tonality. This is how you should read, right? And again, deliberate reading. This one realization changed the trajectory of my life. And for the past 3 years, I have made radical dietary changes, cutting down sugar, processed food, and refined grains. I began exercising 6 days a week without missing a week, and I have drastically increased my consumption of water, plants, and probiotics. The way
Okay. Yeah, it
I
was
read
expressive.
slow.
Hmm.
It was expressive. I took the pauses. I was not in rush. And most importantly, I gave certain words the honor it deserves. Right? I emphasized
Okay.
it. Right? So that's how you should read. And if you want to become a master communicator,
Mm-hmm.
this is how you should read.
Okay. I was
It
focusing
helps.
on what is coming next when you were reading. So
Yeah.
the power of
Yes, you were
pauses, the
curious.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Mm.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right.
I can say that reading is great because I love reading.
Yeah.
And recently I
Yes.
have picked up this book, How to Speak Fluently. I want to know what is there in this book. Yeah, I
Uh,
think from today I'll start reading this book.
okay.
But
Sure.
not everyone loves reading. This trick,
Mm. Mm.
read as if you are expressing. Whenever I
Yeah.
tell my learners, I tell three ways. First,
Mm.
simple read as if just you don't know anything about it, like a content.
Right.
Second,
Mm.
read it with proper pauses, expressions
Yes.
out loud by making yourself aware. Third, as if you are representing something to
Mm.
someone. And
Yes, I love it.
fourth, as if summarize the book. Keep it
Yeah.
aside and
Love
then
it.
summarize whatever you read it. So
Love
I
it.
I follow this trick, but it is effective. I love it. I don't
Mm.
know, but some people who don't like reading, for them, if you can suggest any book, like especially that can help them in learning English,
Sure.
that yeah, according to
I
level, if
have
you can
read,
suggest.
sure. So I have read a lot of books on communication skills, mindset, business, entrepreneurship. If there's one book, and that is very simple book, this book does not have a lot of complex languages. It's simple languages, but effective. One of my favorite books of all time is that helps people to improve their speaking skills as well is How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Okay,
This
one of
is one
my
of my
favorites too.
all time. Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites. Why? Because it literally teaches you about the not only the foundations of communication skills, but
Mm-hmm.
how you can take your communication from this level to the next level.
Next level.
Right.
Mm.
Right. Nowadays AI coming in, all these things coming in, people have gone chat GPT, they started using all these things for learning. But Vinita,
Mhm.
I don't know how much you agree with me, but today still the best form of learning is old school. The best form of learning is reading, and it will be irreplaceable. What do you think of
Okay.
it?
I think people can replace this. Now they are following audiobooks. Though I
Yeah.
personally love physical books, but still, people who don't like to read, they find interesting something online. They like to
Yeah,
listen, so it is easy. But I think
sure.
love, when it comes to loving reading, yeah, I would go for
Mm,
physical books. Of course, it
absolutely,
is
yeah.
good for my eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is.
Okay.
Mm,
Old school learning is good when it comes to reading, but I don't think so.
yeah.
Old school learning is good when it comes to learning spoken English. Do you agree with
Yes.
that?
I agree. I agree with you. That was for reading part. But
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, there are so many chatbots, there's so many resources out there. See, it has pros and cons as well. The benefit is there are many resources. The disadvantage is there are many resources. Right? So people do
Okay.
not have the clarity which one to pick. All right. So people will have to follow the certain step, right? So still the way I teach my students and my trainers do
Mm-hmm.
is we follow the simple systematic approach, right? If people at the basic level, they should start learning the grammar, because sentence formation, Vinita, still
Is
when we do
very
the
important.
webinars, my team does the webinar, one of the major concerns people have that Sachin, I don't know how to form proper sentences with certain grammar rules, like especially, oh, I don't know where to use could have, should have been. I'm very confused. So still, people, even they speak little good English, thoda bahut, but
Mm-hmm.
still they have problem with their sentence formation, right? Now, there are some
Okay.
people who are already good at sentence formation. They know how to speak, what to
Mm-hmm.
speak. There are two parts of speaking. Number one, what to
Mm-hmm.
speak, your
Okay.
grammar, your sentence formation, right? Your worksheet that you have, that what to
Mm-hmm.
speak, your content. And the most important, as important, if not most, is how you speak, right? You can have all the best contents in the world. Let's say you are on the stage, you are about to give the speech, you have memorized your speech, which is not ideal. I never recommend anybody to memorize the speech, right? You have
Mm-hmm.
got the best content possible. You have prepared the slides, your story, your punchlines, your jokes, your quotes, everything. The
Mm-hmm.
what is ready. But when it comes to how,
Mm-hmm.
people lack it. They do not bring their expressions on the stage, right? They do not bring the hand gestures. They do
Mm-hmm.
not bring the tone, which is so important. They do not bring the variations when they speak. They do not bring the pauses, right? Pauses are so
Very
very
important.
important for speaking. And most importantly, my favorite, they do not slow down. One of the major concerns people have when they speak is they speak a million words a minute, right? You have to learn to slow down. Yes, it is important what to say, content is important, but
Mm-hmm.
how to say is probably even a little more important than that, right? That's where I chip in and train people, right? So if you are at the
Mm-hmm.
basic level, learn what to say, right? And then go into how to say it.
How to say makes the huge difference here. Yeah,
It
and
does,
that is
yeah,
the ultimate goal. We have a lot of
absolutely.
content. There is no lack of
Mm,
information,
there's not,
content,
yeah,
but how to
yeah,
present it, that matters. How to express through our
absolutely.
experience in our words, that matters.
Mm,
Now that takes me to the next thing. See, when we learn, we have a lot of information like you should do this, you should do that.
yeah.
Okay, this is there. But as you are into communication, you can understand learning is important, but more than that, unlearning is very important. It's crucial.
Yeah, it is
Unlearning a
crucial.
lot of things that can affect their fluency or in general, anything.
Mm. Yeah.
Especially in this English learning journey, what do you think? What we should unlearn? What we shouldn't do? You tell people you should do this, you should do that. But from our
Right.
experiences, we can say, I did this, I spent this much
Mm.
time, but it didn't work
Mm.
at all for me. So
Mm.
for you,
Right.
considering your experience with your learners, your personal experience, what would you suggest to learners like this you should never do? If they are doing, they can make a change from today.
Sure, sure. The first thing first, if you think that reading newspapers will help you improve your English, stop doing it, right?
Okay.
Because in newspapers, they contain most of the time, they contain advanced vocabulary and advanced sentence formation. So, especially when you're at the basic level and you're learning the English language, do not run after newspapers. Newspapers are for those people who are already at 60 to 70% of their English communication, right? So, don't read newspapers. Instead, read small, inspiring stories. We all
Okay.
love stories, right? Since our childhood, our brain has been wired for stories,
Mhm.
right? So go on chat GPT or Google, type inspiring stories.
Okay.
And very importantly, when you get those stories, read them, number one, out loud. Number
Mm-hmm.
two, slow. Number
Mm-hmm.
three, with the pauses. Number four, with expressions. Imagine that your little sister, little brother is in front of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you are reciting this story. You're not
Mm-hmm.
telling this story. No, you're not just
Okay.
narrating this story. You are sharing it. You are bringing emotion, right? You're bringing the tonality part, right? So we go with the story. It is
Mm-hmm.
much better, easier to remember, and it is more impactful. And again, easy words, easy sentence formation, it helps a lot. Very, very important. Number two, people think that for them
Mm-hmm.
to be able to speak English fluently and confidently, they have to memorize all the grammar rules. Pehle
Okay.
tense is low, conditionals low, parts of speech, noun pronouns. No, you don't. Here are a few topics in grammar that you need only. Number one, tenses. Tenses are the basics, right? You cannot
Okay.
avoid tenses if you're learning English. Number two, models like how to use can, could have, should have, would have,
Mm-hmm.
should have been. These are little complicated ones, but if you learn it, it will help you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Third is, I believe, bit of preposition, right? How to
Okay.
use, add, in, and probably last one, a bit of article, right? Not but bit of. And the last one is conditionals, the first, second, the third conditionals, because
Mm-hmm.
if you combine all these 4 or 5 grammar topics together,
Mm-hmm.
you're sorted for the English. I'm telling you, you do not have to go and learn
Mm-hmm.
active and passive voice, indirect speech. Those are bullshit for me, right? For you to be able to improve your English speaking, these are only 5 topics that you require. So yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think people should take care of this. And I
sure,
would
they
add
should.
one more thing. Yeah, I would add one more thing here. This following typical approach is good in the starting, but keep following the same thing for the longer period
Yeah,
of time. Doing it
yeah.
so like one day I can see the result. Because if it
Hmm.
had been the right approach for the
Hmm.
longer period of time, we could
Yeah,
have done
yeah.
it. We would we could have done it in our school days.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah,
Okay. Now, if you want to teach something, I'll ask you something specifically. Okay.
sure.
Now, the very typical question,
Hmm.
if you have to teach some words to our learners, what
Hmm.
words do you want to teach? And what do you think is the right way to build vocabulary? Because we have a lot of rules, do this, do that. So according to you, what
Hmm.
works best for you? Like this is the way you can build your vocabulary.
Sure. So, first question, one of my favorite words is the word spectacular. It means incredibly amazing, right? And I
Okay.
love this book. I love this book. When I joined a group discussion 8 years ago in an NGO, I was learning English there.
Mm-hmm.
It took me almost 25 days to pronounce this word. I did not know how to pronounce this word. I would say spectacular, spectacular. I wouldn't know, right? So it has become one of my favorite words of all time, spectacular. Now, how to build vocabulary?
Mm-hmm.
Simplest and the best way to build vocabulary is reading. Simplest and the best way, according to me, right? This is what I called R&R method, read and review. For
All right.
example, read, let's say, 4 or 5 pages a day, right? And you will definitely come across some new words, right? Step number one, the moment you find the new words, write it
Mm-hmm.
down, right? Then make 2 or 3 examples, real life example. For example, let's say we have learned a word
Mm-hmm.
spectacular. That means बहुत शानदार, amazing, whatever. Examples, Virat Kohli played a spectacular innings in the last match, right? The way Sachin speaks is spectacular, which is true, right? Right? So find one word and give two, three examples, right?
Mhm.
So every single day, try to not more than 5 words. Don't try to learn
Mhm.
more than 5, 10 words. 5 words are enough. Five unique
Okay.
words that you don't know how to say. It's very important. When you find the word, learn how to pronounce it properly, because after you learn a certain vocabulary, certain word, if you
Mhm.
don't know how to pronounce it, then it's not worth it, right? Step number one,
Okay.
read, find new words. Step number two, make examples and learn the exact pronunciation of it. And most importantly, in your
Mhm.
next conversation, try to bring that word. How can you bring that word in the conversation?
Mhm.
Because knowledge without application
Mhm.
is nothing, right? People say knowledge is power. No, applied knowledge is power, right?
Oh.
So
Mhm.
whatever you're learning, new word, new pronunciation, start applying the very same day, right? If people have
Okay.
watched right now and they've learned the word spectacular, they should
Mhm.
start using it from today.
Okay, I think they should follow this advice. I think it's a great advice. And with vocabulary,
So,
it's important to use in our day-to-day life. Application you
absolutely.
mentioned, applied knowledge, it's important. And
Yeah.
yes, I learned a lot from this the conversation. I got to know a lot from you, and your energy is amazing, I must say. I
Thank
think
you,
I don't
Vinita.
know
Thank you.
what I will see going forward in your journey. I will keep myself updated
You're
with
going to see a
your
lot.
information.
You're going to see a lot.
Okay, I hope so.
Yeah.
Now, I think
Yeah.
we have 1 minute. So, in this 1 minute, I want to tell you something. First of all,
Please.
thank you so much again to have this
Thank you.
conversation and sharing all this with me, with our learners. And anything you want to say to our learners?
I want to say to the learners who are on the journey of improving their English communication, start small, start with the basics, and keep learning, keep observing, and most importantly, if people do not, help you, if they talk shit about you, keep learning, keep going, and just don't give up. You will be able to be confident in English, that's for sure.